Today we're going to look at setting up the question of the day here on the right side of the website. Now the right side currently just has an echo that says right side, so it doesn't have anything of value yet. But we're going to put an if a certain condition is true, then it's going to do something else, then it'll just say right side. So basically, when there is a current question, so I have a has current question, when that function returns true, then it's going to do something. Else, it echoes the right side. But let's start with the has current question. First, the SQL is select star from daily questions where date start has to be less than or equal to today, the current date, and date end has to be greater than or equal to today, the current date. So we prepare that SQL statement and we execute it. We don't have to bind any parameters because there are no parameters being added here. We store the result, get the number of rows. If the number of rows is equal to 0, what do we know? The answer is false. Otherwise, the answer is true, and at the end, we just return the answer. So if there's more than one row, or one or more rows, then we know that it has a current question. So back to our function on right side, has a current question. If that's true, we're going to display one QOD. QOD, of course, means question of the day. So display one QOD. Let's take a look at that. Our SQL is select daily questions.id as QID, question from daily questions, where the date start is less than or equal to today, current underscore date, and date end is greater than or equal to current underscore date. Alright, we prepare that statement and we execute it because again there is no parameter in there that's being put in. We store the result. We bind the result. We had QID up here and question, so we bind those two. And we fetch. How many are we fetching? Only one. There's not a while statement here. It's just going to fetch that one and close. Remember, it's only going to display this if there actually is one. It's only going to call this function. Now, question, we're going to strip the slashes out of there if there were any slashes put in. That has to do with the backslash before the apostrophe or the double quotes or anything. Self is the server PHP underscore self. Why is that? Because we're going to create a form. So the form name is QOD, action is the $self, method is post. You see down on the bottom we have input type equals submit, value equals vote. So we've got our little form created. And the first thing I'm going to put is the question. That's going to be in an H2 in this example I just decided. Input type equals hidden name QID value QID. So it's taking the QID that we have previously gotten and putting it there hidden. So it's going to be there. But there's no reason for it to show. Select ID as AID and answer from daily choices where the QID equals the QID. So in this case, we're finding from the daily choices the answers that relate to that question. We prepare the statement and we execute it. And we store the result and we bind the result AID and answer because that's what we had up here. And then we have a while statement. While statement fetch. What are we going to do? Answer. Well, we're going to strip slashes the answer if there were any backslashes in there. And then we're going to put input type equals radio, name equals AID, value equals the $AID, but what's going to display? $answer. So it'll be sending the AID and the QID when we actually hit vote. That's what we're going to be doing. And we can see all that is going to be in the sitefunctions.php page. So how will it look? It'll just have the question here, an H2, and then it'll have all the possible choices in a radio button and the word vote right there. That's all this program does for now.